So I've been thinking lately, mostly along the topic of disappointments. I'm sure we've all had our disappointments because disappointments are pretty much a part of life. And as long as you have expectations, then you're opening up yourself to disappointments. Looking at you, Ubisoft, the division could have been so much more. Now that is not to say that you're better off not having any expectations at all, because there's nothing that feels quite like having your expectations and having those expectations met or exceeded. That's when you feel like you're on cloud nine. It feels like all the stars, the planets, whatever heavenly bodies you can think of, they're all aligned and everything is just right with the world at that moment. That's a really good feeling. But now, how do you get a lot more of that good feeling of having your expectations met versus having more disappointment and having even more letdowns? The trick is to find a good balance. And I'm not actually very good at finding that balance myself, because I tend to either go from being way too excited about something to just not really caring at all. And I know that's not the way to be. All things in moderation. I get it. So I'm gonna try to help you out and in turn help myself out when it comes to that. Now, the trick to managing your expectations is to have realistic expectations. And this is not even just relating to romantic relationships. It could be anything. I know sometimes you might find another person that is the mirror image of you, like they have the same interests in you and you're like, no way, we could totally bro out this weekend, play some Super Smash Brothers, go shopping, whatever it is. You find this person and immediately your brain goes from 0 to 100 in 0.2 seconds and you're already thinking about making plans for the next week after that, next week after that, next week after that. You're going so fast and you're predicting the future so well that you're now a psychic in the moment, and what your psychic mind hasn't told you just yet is that you're not actually a psychic and you need to slow it down. Now, after you've pulled yourself back in and you've slowed it down, you need to start thinking rationally. You need to keep a level head. Stop piling up all of these expectations that you've created up here on this other person, because that's a lot of pressure, to be putting all those expectations on another person or another video game or, whatever it is. You have to keep it realistic and be sure that you're not unloading this idealistic image onto the object of your latest obsession. Maybe not obsession, but interest. You get the point. What this translates into is, if it's in terms of a romantic relationship, you get what I like to call the cool guy mentality. Where it's like,
it's all good. It's cool if it works out. If not, then whatever. Different area code, son.
And that is a good mindset to have, but you don't want to take it too far to the point where it's like you don't even care anymore, so you're not even putting on any effort when it comes to that relationship. You kind of want to balance it out a little bit. Realistic expectations will be your friend. Now, if someone says to me, hey, let's go out this weekend and go catch a movie, then it would be realistic for me to expect that we would be going out this weekend to catch a movie. What would not be realistic is if I expect candlelit dinner afterwards with a moonlight serenade, and it's all good and well if that happens, but you're kind of setting the bar way up there in your mind, and from here to here is a pretty big drop. So you might want to balance your expectations a lot so it works out to your advantage. Now, for the not so romantic side of expectations, for me, I think I have very realistic expectations, and what's really been getting on me lately is Amazon Prime. I expect that 2-day shipping, Amazon. I live for that 2-day shipping, okay? When I order a new case for my phone that just came out last weekend, or if I say that I want the new snorkeling goggles and I see that my shipping has been delayed again and again, it kills me. I'm not gonna bash them or anything. It's just heartbreaking to be let down over and over. And I've been using Amazon Prime for a while and it's been really good for me, except very recently. It's almost like when I'm really counting on it, then even if it gets delayed by one day, then I feel really bummed out. I feel like, this is not what I paid for. But if I take 2 steps back and I think about it, I'm usually just thinking, okay, so 2 days turned to 3 days, that's not so bad, it's all good. When it gets here, you're still my homie Amazon, I'm still gonna get my Prime next year, still gonna keep buying stuff from you. Cool. Now, a lot of you out there too might also be gamers and you know what the hype train is. When there's a new game about to come out and everyone is saying, oh my goodness, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and then it comes out and it's a big just letdown. It's not even that the game is so terrible, it's just that you've hyped it up so much that you have all these expectations for it, and if it doesn't measure up, then you feel so bummed out. So, it's a little bit good to manage those expectations, and even just getting here and talking about it has kind of got me thinking about what my expectations are for things like that. So I'm gonna cut it short. I might get back into this later, but thank you so much for listening to me, YouTube. You guys you're a really good listener. I don't know if anyone has ever told you that, but you're a really good listener because I feel so much better now that I can get here and just pour my heart out to you. And I feel a lot better. Thank you so much for that. And I hope that I may have enriched your day as well. Peace.